Why do people ride motor scooters? Because they want to go fast. I got into motor scooters a couple years ago. It's kind of a fun hobby that whole family does. We take trips on the scooters. We've gone out to the Black Hills. We've gone to some lakes areas and rode around. And it's just a fun family adventure. But those little 50cc scooters, they just don't go fast enough. So we want to see what we can do about that.
Here's a little scooter I built. It started out life as a little Chinese 50cc scooter. Made a whole new front end. I machined the triple tree forks for it. Made the fenders. Replaced the 50cc motor with a 150cc. I even made the muffler. Added a sissy bar. My daughter just loves going for rides on the back of this. Seats too. Does about 45 miles an hour.
As far as scooters go, that's pretty decent performance. But how can we get that type of performance out of a 50cc? Well, you can add a big bore kit, which takes them up generally to 80 cc's. That's the most common one, the one that seems to last the longest. You go bigger than that, you really come into a short lifespan motor. But what if we put a supercharger on a 50cc Chinese scooter engine and see what happens?
Okay, so here's what we have for the supercharger. I have it all drawn up in Fusion 360. It's about 3 inches wide, the main part here. It's about 7.5 this way, and about 6 this way, not even 6. It's pretty small. That shaft is an 8mm shaft. Take off the back cover here. You can see there's 2 gears. One of them is driven by the pulley, the other that drives the other one. Keeps the lobes synchronized. Take off the front cover. You see we got a bearing up on each shaft up front, an extra support one where the pulley will be for driving it. And got the 2 lobes, 3 lobes spinning in there. And we've got an oil seal and a bearing. So the bearing and the gears will be in an oil bath. It'll only hold a few cc's of oil, but it'll do the trick. That's the way they make these things. So yeah, I'll show you how I drew the lobes. So I've opened up a new window here in Fusion 360, and we're going to draw this on the front. Create sketch on the front. Oh, one thing first here. We're going to change our units to millimeters. Because as we know, Chinese scooters are built in metric. So first we're going to start with circle. The diameter of the gear, the effective diameter is 40 millimeters. And we'll draw another circle in there for the shaft, which is 8 millimeters. And we're going to draw one more circle, the outside diameter of the lobes. Now, I can't remember where I read this, but the relationship between the outside of the lobes and the effective diameter of the gear is 2/3. So we got 40 millimeters for the gear, so that will make the lobes 60 millimeters. And we'll do that. I'm going to draw a line straight up and down. It's a 30 millimeter line, and then we are going to hit circular pattern. So we can draw some layout lines on here. We're going to do a circular pattern with the center point in the middle of this guy. And we're going to draw 12 of those for the 3 lobes. So we got 12 lines. And let's get rid of some of this background noise here. Don't need to see that anymore. 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 So now we are going to draw the circles for the knobs on the end of the lobe. And we're going to do a 3-point circle. So we're going to put one of the, I'm going to start here. So we've got a lobe out here facing to the right. So the first point of the circle is that intersection. Second point is at that intersection, and the third is at that intersection. So now we can go back to our circular pattern again. We can select this guy with a center point in the middle again, and quantity of 3, perfect. Ooh, no, not quite perfect. We wanted to do 6 of those. Create circular pattern, select the circle, center point in the middle, 6 of those, sorry about that. And that gives us, let's draw the little weight saving jobbers. Little hole in the middle, make them 12. Doesn't really matter. And once again, we are going to do a circular pattern. Select that circle with the center in the center, and that one we do want 3. Okay. So now we've got our lobes basically all sketched. So we can create some solid properties here. So this little spider web thing, we're going to extrude that whole works. There's probably an easier way to do this, but I'm actually kind of new to this myself. And here's one of our lobes. Here's one of our lobes. And here's the third lobe. Now you will notice that this little area right here we didn't get. We don't want that one. We want that full circle to be gone. So that's our lobe. We're going to take that, let's push that back 60 millimeters. So -60, enter. And what do we got here? Turn him a little bit. There he is. Now, this is something you'll have to do after you assemble the thing, but these little corners right here will cause an interference, and once you assemble them, you can play with it and do your rotational joints, but it doesn't take much. Just do a fillet on those. Here's a little 3 millimeter fillet. That'll keep those corners from bumping each other. And it's just that easy.
So here's all the raw materials. We've got a collection of bearings. Here's the gears. See how small these things are? Wow. So we've got 2 gears. We've got 5 bearings. And a couple oil seals. Nuts to hold the gears on. Here's the shaft. So this is going to be an impeller. two impellers here. This is going to be the main body of the blower, and here's the front and back plates. So I got a couple more tweaks to do on the drawing. I'm going to put some jack screws on there for disassembly, and a little nose for the front shroud, but we're going to start machining on this pretty soon. So that's the plan for the blower. We're going to drive it from the flywheel, so we're going to remove the fan that's on there. We're going to have to remove the shrouds around the engine. We're going to put a new fan on there that's driven by the same belt that drives the blower, and probably have to make some new shrouds too. We're going to have to make some brackets that go on where the old shroud did around the flywheel, and beef that up a little bit, and then make a little snorkel that goes from the blower to the engine, and then a little one in the back where the carburetor will attach to the back of the blower. So this will be a draw-through supercharger for a 50cc scooter. Stay tuned for part 2. Thanks for watching.